Breaking news, Alec Baldwin accused of pulling the trigger when the movie set employee died. Now, more than a year later, the Wall Street Journal has just exclusively reported Alec Baldwin will face criminal charges.
It only took him 15 months. Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is watched by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms for NRA certification and multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. And let's talk about this. If you've been following me for a while, you know I've spoken on this subject multiple times. I think I've done 3 videos specifically on this event. If you don't know, it's the event Alec Baldwin on his movie set Rust discharged a firearm and killed one person and injured another. And throughout my diatribe and videos, I stated that his explanation of what happened that day just did not add up. Well, now it's gone up to the fact that he is being charged, along with his armorer, Halyna Hutchens, with involuntary manslaughter. But what has also happened is the state of New Mexico, or the DA's office, has put out enhanced charges. They're really going after him. I want to play this clip so you understand exactly what they're trying to do.
Lindsay, thank you. And I want to bring in ABC's chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams, for more. Dan, you say this is the worst case scenario for Baldwin.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, the prosecutors just threw the book at Alec Baldwin and Halyna Hutchens. I mean, they threw everything that they possibly could at both of them. In particular, when you talk about these involuntary manslaughter charges, typically in the state of New Mexico, the maximum punishment for involuntary manslaughter is up to 18 months. Well, they have added an enhancement on one of the charges, a firearm enhancement, which adds a potential mandatory penalty because a firearm was involved. The firearm enhancement makes the crime punishable by a mandatory 5 years. Now, this was discretionary, meaning prosecutors had to decide what they wanted to do here. And they have gone all out in determining that Alec Baldwin and Halyna Hutchens are criminally responsible. I'll give you one more quote from them. They say the evidence clearly shows a pattern of criminal disregard for safety on the Rust film set. In New Mexico, there's no room for film sets that don't take our state's commitment to gun safety and public safety seriously. Now, let me add one other point here, which is the next step in this proceeding will be a preliminary hearing, which will be a kind of mini trial where a judge will determine is there enough evidence to go to trial. Typically, this is pretty pro forma. In the vast majority of cases, judges allow the case to move forward. This is one where I think you could see a pretty brutal fight by Alec Baldwin and Halyna Hutchens saying that they don't think it reaches, as a matter of law, the level of criminality. Still a long shot for Alec Baldwin and Halyna Hutchens, but that would be the next step in the proceeding.
And I want to bring in ABC News senior investigative reporter Aaron Katersky as well. Aaron, only one person died in this case, but both Baldwin and Hutchens are each facing 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter. Can you walk us through that?
There are 2 different forms of the same criminal charge, involuntary manslaughter, Diane, and they reflect what prosecutors say is a disregard for safety on the film set of Rust. And the prosecutors say that had Alec Baldwin or the others done their job, Halyna Hutchens would be alive today, pure and simple.
Heard that and you saw that. That is very interesting that they actually went with these enhanced charges. And I'm going to come over here just for context. There's Fox News. Title: Alec Baldwin hit with involuntary manslaughter and the death of Halyna Hutchens, faces up to 18 months in prison. Okay, we know about that. It's going to be very brief, but Alec Baldwin was charged with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter and the death of Halyna Hutchens. Halyna Hutchens, who was the armorer on the film Rust, was also charged with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter. If you remember, I did a video on her and the fact that she was grossly inexperienced, and mostly she seemed to get into the job based on name recognition because her father apparently is one of the top armorers in Hollywood. But Alec Baldwin's attorney called the charges a terrible miscarriage of justice in a statement to Fox News Digital. That's a matter of opinion. Quote, "This decision distorts Halyna Hutchens' tragic death and represents a terrible miscarriage of justice," Lucas Nikas of Quinn Emanuel said. Mr. Baldwin had no reason to believe there was a live bullet in the gun. That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. Always treat a firearm as if it is loaded at all times. Period. We all know this. So that statement there has no validity. But, or anywhere on the movie set. He relied on the professionals with whom he worked, who assured him the gun did not have a live round. Still not an excuse. We will fight these charges and we will win. Hutchens' family thanked the sheriff's office and the DA after the charges were announced. Quote, "We want to thank the Santa Fe Sheriff and District Attorney for concluding their thorough investigation and determining that charges for involuntary manslaughter are warranted for the killing of Halyna Hutchens with conscious disregard for human life," said in a statement issued on behalf of the Hutchens family via attorney Brian J. Panish, founding partner of Panish, Shea, Boyle, Raffipoldi, LLP. Okay, quote again, "Our independent investigation also support charges are warranted. It is a comfort to the family that in New Mexico, no one is above the law. We support the charges, will fully cooperate with this prosecution, and fervently hope the justice system works to protect the public and hold accountable those who break the law." Okay, New Mexico First Judicial District Attorney Mary Carmack Altwiz announced the charges Thursday morning, more than a year, 15 months, after the Hutchens' tragic death. If Baldwin is convicted, he could be facing up to 18 months in prison. Okay, and I'm just going to come down to here. This is another quote. "Baldwin has a strong defense case, and I can see him pushing the case to trial for legal and public reasons, or public relations reasons," he continued. "He has to think about his acting career in addition to doing time. But if he rolls the dice and loses the trial, the judge may hammer him for causing Hutchens' death." So, Assistant Director David Hall signed a plea agreement for a charge of negligent use of a deadly weapon. The terms of his agreement included a suspended sentence and 6 months of probation, the district attorney announced. Okay, and no charges were filed in a non-fatal shooting of Joel Souza. Okay. Now, if you remember back in my other videos, I say, and I make several statements, that somewhere along the line, they're going to throw Halyna Gutierrez-Reed under the bus. They're going to make her the fall person for this whole thing so that Baldwin gets to walk. And there have also already been, and through discovery, emails that were sent out where members of the Rust crew, I'm talking about the higher-ups, the producers, executive producers, these higher-ups exchanging emails stating that it was all her fault. They didn't have any proof of that. They're just saying, oh, it's her fault that this happened. So that's going to be interesting watching this go forward. But I don't expect Baldwin to, he might. I don't think he'll plea out. I think his ego's too big. I think he'll go for the trial thinking that he's, him personally is, exonerated of this. He had nothing to do with it. But Gutierrez-Reed has some problems. Her career as an armorer is done. Okay, it's done. Baldwin, no matter what, could probably come back from this. But once again, another update. Let's see how this trial, or how it progresses and what happens. But the excuses of, I didn't know, does not apply when it comes to firearms. A gun is always loaded, all the time. You treat it as if that. And you don't ever let that fall to the wayside. But let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I will see you on the next one. Peace.